When I was 23, I had my first daughter, Aubrey, who had a birth diagnosis of Down syndrome. The future looked really unknown to me. The hospital sent in a nurse named Kathy. She also had a daughter with Down syndrome. And she told me, this is going to be the greatest blessing that ever happens to you.
The day that we had our son Wells, I'm just sobbing and emotional in the hospital. Mark said to my husband, you guys just hit the jackpot. And so that was like the big turning point for our family, was that, okay, yeah, we can do this. Not only can we do this, but this is going to be amazing.
This program really helped me as I was learning to accept my daughter's diagnosis by just giving me friends and other parents that I could rely on for all of my many questions, finding doctors or play groups or, asking all these confusing questions of like, what's going to happen in the future?
Pee-wee Playgroup is parents interacting with infants. And it's exactly what the title says. It's a way for us to get together, for the parents to intentionally interact with their infants in a low stress way where we can get resources and connection and just have a community.
Meeting parents with kids that have similar struggles, it makes you realize that you're not alone and there are other families that are looking for support just like you are, and so you can find them and bond and just feel really that you're not alone.
Stevie, my 3-year-old, she is nonverbal and she's in a wheelchair. I remember one of the little kids just crawled right up to her and just handed her a toy. No one's ever done that before. And that was the safe space where people could do that for Stevie, and they could do that for me.
Cooper gets to make friends with kids that also have Down syndrome or other disabilities. And I bring my big kid, and she gets to see other kids with disabilities. And that is such a positive thing for our family, for our kids, for everyone.
It's like it wasn't just about me interacting with my infant. Now I have a really good friend that I get to talk about challenges and talk about the amazing things too. And that has been really awesome.
And that stage when Cooper was so tiny and we didn't know anything, it was like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be awesome. Look how much fun these people are, and that means everything.
One of the main purposes for We All Belong is to really help parents feel empowered to have options for their children.
Once your kid enters the school system, you realize what an uphill battle that lies ahead of you. And so it's really important to find other moms fighting that same fight, because when you unite, your voices are a lot more powerful.
Inclusion can look really different from one kid to the next. We're not just thinking about these first 18 years, they have the rest of their lives. And if we don't start these opportunities and these experiences now, it's going to be a lot harder for them once they graduate.
From inclusion in our neighborhood boundary school have come opportunities that my child would not have had. And that community interaction and them embracing our kids and giving them opportunities they wouldn't have because they see our kids as capable, because they've gotten to know them.
I always thought this is such a blessing for my little family. I never could have dreamed that it would be such a blessing for so many other families. He's just changing so many hearts. And what a great responsibility and blessing. And it's changing the trajectory of their lives as they find their place in the community. And you may think, maybe my kid's not capable of this or that, or maybe it's too much for them. But try it. Dip your toes in. It can be scary. It can be very daunting, but it's worth the effort.
So my husband and I have 6 children, and our last 2 are twins that were born with Down syndrome 18 years ago. When we were still living in Connecticut, we went to some conferences specifically on Down syndrome, and it was so eye-opening, and I just felt so supported and like I had this new vision for my girls and how to help them. And so when we moved to Utah, we started talking about the need for training for parents here in Utah, and that's kind of, I think, how Solutions for Success came to be, and it's been really exciting to see it evolve over the years. It really opened my eyes, and I met people who I'm still in touch with, who I can reach out to with all sorts of questions. It gave me a new vision for what their lives could be like, and a great support system. So it makes me realize that I'm not alone, and that I have a lot of resources as well as people on this journey with me doing the same thing.
Teen Night is a gathering of about 20 teens, and then we have a bunch of volunteers, either parents or people from the community. We have dances, we have people come in and teach them Zumba, and we go out into the community, go bowling, go to a movie. It's just things that teens like to do and that give them a chance to get together.
It just provides a place for her to feel like she really belongs and fits in, and there's no social pressure. Everybody just is super excited to see each other.
Although our kids are involved and they have lots of friends at school, we wanted them to have similar peers that were like them, that they could relate to, and that would be there for them the rest of their lives.
Part of the activity is a lesson, which is I've always thought is really great. So they'll learn a social skill or safety, manners, things like that. Young adult meetup is similar to Teen Night, and sometimes we combine the two. The young adult meetup during the week is always a Zoom virtual call, and it's a guided conversation. The kids just get to take turns talking and interacting with each other to help keep their social skills up. It's just given us a place of community and interaction and having other parents to make friends with, and it's been invaluable.
When he finished post-high, it was as if he dropped through the cracks. We did not know what to do with him. We didn't know how to move forward. What was he going to do the rest of his life? So getting the help from United Angels Foundation gave me a place to start. We learned all the different possibilities, what we could do with vocational rehabilitation, what we could do with recreational opportunities, everything to put him on the best life he could possibly have. Within a few months, we were able to get both boys back on track. With the DSPD, the older one was on the waiting list for that. They were both able to get appointments with vocational rehabilitation. It just opened up the world to them and allowed them to have a much more fulfilled life. Hands down, my favorite experience was when my oldest grandson found out that he could actually have a job. He went in, he had his interview, he was employed, he became independent for the first time in his life, and he was overjoyed.
United Angels has so many fun community events like Hee-Haws and the Christmas movie party, the Halloween carnival, and
The art program.
oh yes,
And
Van Gogh to Play-Doh,
BYU.
Walk with Angels.
That's probably my favorite memory, is that first walk with angels. I'll never forget just the feeling of like love and acceptance and unity that came from knowing all these people are like us. Everyone's just like having fun.
I think our children, one of their greatest gifts is the joy that they bring into this world, whether it's in our just little personal family that we get to experience it, but through United Angels, through the walk, through a lot of these big programs, our kids just thrive and we get to celebrate them. And these programs do allow our kids to be the stars and center stage.
Because this world is not built for our children. This world does not accommodate them. We've had to create that space, and we've had to create that celebration for them. And it's pretty amazing.
I always leave feeling uplifted and happy and hopeful. It just like lights a fire under me. Like, this is where I want to be.
Maybe some parents are hesitant, like to go into the new spaces, but 1000% I would recommend coming and just enjoying. Meet some new families, meet some parents and some other kids, and just see what it's about, even if you're unsure.
I would recommend United Angels Foundation to anyone with a person in their family with any kind of a disability, because it allows them to be educated in what is available, what are the possibilities to give their loved one the best life they can possibly lead.
Being a parent of a child with special needs can be lonely and really hard. We need each other. We need resources. We need friends. We need information. We need a community. You can't do it alone.
As parents of kids with a disability, it can be daunting. There's a lot. There's so much, especially when you have medical complications. There's a lot on our plates, but it's worth it, and there are people to do it with you. Don't feel like you have to do this alone.
Thank heavens for these platforms that United Angels and these programs that it has created, because you can find your people that will be your forever friends for your children, for you, whatever stage of life you're in.
This is a place where you belong. This is a place where your children will belong. And that's one of the most beautiful parts of United Angels Foundation, is just kind of creating a special needs family where we can all go on this journey together.